Hi, welcome to Phantastic Feast. I'm your host, Phan. Today we are going to make a dish that I recently discovered how to make, and it's Penang curry. And the reason why I decided to make this dish is because I was recently in Ireland, in Dublin, and my favorite and best meal there was actually Thai curry. The food in Ireland is actually a little bit heavy, but I was craving vegetables and I thought, okay, there's a Thai restaurant across the street, I'm gonna try it out. And I had Penang curry and it was delicious. But it was also 20 euros for a little itty bitty pot, which is a lot, which is about $22, give or take. So I thought to myself, I can make this better and cheaper at home. So I wanted to give it a try, and I did, and I really loved it, and it was so easy, and I thought, okay, this is something anybody can make. So of course, this is where we're at, and we're gonna show you how to make it. It looks like a lot, but it's a really colorful, bright, and delicious dish, and it's really good with a bowl of white rice, or if you wanna try a healthier option, brown rice. But I actually really love it with white rice because I think that's how they traditionally serve it. But this is kind of a little riff. I modified it a little bit to my taste and the things that I like. And what you will need for this dish is 2 chicken breasts, skinless, boneless, and you cut that into strips. And then you also need red curry, red curry paste, which comes in the stores and you can buy it. It's relatively inexpensive, $2 or $3. You can make it yourself, but it's a lot of work. You can do it, and I'm sure if you were to make it yourself, it'd be very, very good. But this is a great alternative and really fast and easy if you don't have the time to make this curry paste on your own. Frozen vegetables, and this was actually a little bit of a happy mistake because I was just looking for peas and they didn't have peas, so I got the mix that had carrots, corn, and green beans as well. So, and it turned out to be really great, and the colors were really bright and pop. So you need about a cup of that. You can add more if you like more vegetables. You need kaffir lime leaves, and if you've never had kaffir lime leaves, they're so fragrant. They're like a double leaf, and you can't really smell it. Once you open that, you smell it, and that's really what makes the Thai curry taste like Thai. It's so complex and it's so fragrant. You can buy these at the Asian grocery store fresh, but it's super fragrant. And you also need Thai basil, also another really fragrant herb. And this, interestingly, you can actually stick these in the ground afterwards or root it and try to grow it. So if you go to a pho restaurant, don't throw them away. I sometimes take it home with me. I know it sounds a little ghetto, but it works. You need Thai chilies if you want to give it a little bit of a kick. So I used about 4, and I really like the level of spice, but you can modify that. You can omit it if you can only take mild heat, or you can add more. I also added half a tablespoon of minced garlic and shallots because the color adds a little bit of nice pop to it, and also red, orange, and yellow bell pepper. I use the mini ones because it's a little bit easier, but you can use the bigger ones and cut into small strips. And aside from that, you need coconut milk, some fish sauce, and then some palm sugar as well. And that's the entire dish. It sounds like a lot of components, but it's really fast once you just put it all together. And I actually didn't have the palm sugar, which is already, they're usually like in little rounded cubes or so. So I had coconut sugar, and it worked out beautifully. I really enjoyed it. So that's an option too for you to modify. So what we'll do first is cut the vegetables, and then we'll use the cutting board to cut the chicken afterwards so we don't contaminate it and it's less things to wash. But we'll start with the shallots. You could also use red onion as a substitute. I added this because I love the color of it, and also it adds a nice dimension to it as well. And actually, of all the cuisines out there, Thai is actually my favorite. Even though I love Vietnamese food, I love the complexity of Thai cooking. There's always so many flavors that are interspersed and woven into the way that things are made. And I always find that I love everything that is Thai. And I got to visit Thailand one time, and the street food there is amazing. I would say, obviously one of the best, but Southeast Asia in general has really delicious street food vendors. And you'll just cut this into little wedges. I only need 2 actually, so I'll save this one. And to be honest, all of these vegetable measurements or components that I give to you, you can modify it to how much you like this or that. I find that this dish is not too strict on the way or how much vegetables you like in there. And I'm sure if you liked other vegetables, you could add it and it wouldn't be a terrible thing. Obviously, it wouldn't be a traditional style of Penang curry, but it would still work. And I like modifications because it tailors to what you like to eat. Because I was looking for a dish that had a ton of vegetables, and Penang curry doesn't have too much vegetables, but if you add the corn and the peas, it makes it brighter and more veggies that you can add. And you want to cut the peppers into strips, like so. And these mini bell peppers are actually delicious to eat. And these mini bell peppers are delicious to eat as they are raw. They make a great snack. Okay. If you were using the bigger bell peppers, you'll want to remove the seeds, but I find that these are so little that you won't even notice it. So less work for you, so you don't have to do that. But if you were using the bigger ones, I would recommend it. And there are a lot of different Thai curries out there. Obviously, there's yellow curry, green curry. I've always just liked the red curry just because of the extra. It's not as mild as the yellow curry, I don't think. And I prefer the Thai curries, just because they make a nice drizzle over rice, and it's just perfect. It's creamy and it's delicious. Okay, we have that. Okay, and I'll show you how to cut the kaffir lime leaves. I have a friend who grows this in the backyard, so I was able to get them super fresh. So that's a wonderful thing, but you can buy it at the supermarket as well, the Asian supermarkets. And oops. I used about 8 of these to put into the curry. And you could put it straight into the curry as is. But what I like to do is, just so it imparts the flavor, I cut off the stem in the middle. And it's super fragrant, you can smell it. And then you use a few of these leaves as well, and you cut it, you julienne it into really thin shreds as a garnish. And that's so nice. Do that great. Okay. Okay. One more. And you can see the kaffir lime leaves, they're kind of like double leaves. They come like that, but they're great for Thai cooking. And then you can do a little chiffonade and roll it up, but I find that since I took out the middle part, I just like to cut them from here. Just the thinner the better if you can. That's pretty good. Okay. So these are ready. This is okay. And now you just cut the Thai chilies. And like I said, the Thai chilies are completely optional on how much you want to cut and add. This one I like to just split them down the middle, just so they open up. I mean, Thai food is notoriously known for how spicy it is, and I really like this a little bit spicy. So, okay, and this should be good. Okay. And that's your veggies. And I actually don't love to use frozen vegetables, but in this case, you're totally fine, and you won't even notice that it's frozen, and it works really well actually. So I totally recommend it. It's easy and a good option. Okay, so now let's cut the chicken. And okay. So the chicken, you just want to cut it into thin strips like so. And conversely, if you don't want to use chicken, this can be beef curry or tofu. I personally like the chicken with this, so we'll do chicken. You can do shrimp as well. And once you cut the chicken, you're pretty much ready to go and start cooking. I do love these really simple dishes that look hard, but they just make a nice dinner that doesn't take too much time to whip up, and also relatively inexpensive to make. As much as I love curry, sometimes, I mean, when I was in Ireland, I just couldn't justify $20 for a little bowl. I mean, it was really good, but I was like, I can make that for maybe $5. So let's do that instead. And that's your chicken. So that's all the prep. And then we'll take this over to the stove and start making the sauce and then making this curry come together. So let's go over there. Now that we have everything prepped, we're ready to take it to the stove, and half the work is already done once you have already prepped everything. So if you have a wok, it's pretty good to use that, but I don't have quite a wok, but this works as well. So something that will hold, it gets a little bit saucy, so you want to make sure it's something that can hold the sauce. So you want to turn the heat on to about medium high, and just drizzle a little bit of oil. And while that is heating up, I will open the can of coconut milk. Coconut cream or coconut milk, depending on what you have available. And I'll do that over. Let me do that here. Okay. Ooh. It's time for a new can opener. Make sure to always shake your coconut can to make sure that it mixes together so it's not cream on the bottom and water in the top. Okay. 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 Now that's ready. Okay, so first what I do is I add the garlic. This is half a tablespoon of garlic. Swish it around. And then next goes the shallots, 2 shallots. And this was my addition to it, so that this is not traditional, completely 100%, but it's 85% super traditional Penang curry, so I enjoyed it, so I hope you will too if you try it. So you want to sweat them a little bit, let them cook, not too much, maybe about a minute. And then what you will do next is you will do half of the coconut cream. You pour half in. And you mix it for about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. I'll switch my utensils. Just make sure you continuously stir. So you're cooking the coconut. I mean, it smells so good already, and it's only just the coconut and the garlic and the shallots. So imagine once you put the curry in and the lime leaves, the kaffir lime leaves, it just takes this to another level. Okay. Make sure you're continuously stirring this so it doesn't burn. Ooh, but not too hard. Okay. One of these days I will make a Vietnamese curry. I've actually never made a Vietnamese curry before, but I have an auntie who makes the most delicious chicken curry every Thanksgiving, so I will have to learn her recipe and bring it to you. Okay. Okay. Then from here, I'm going to cook the coconut milk for about 2 minutes or so. And then from here you add the red curry paste. This is 2 tablespoons, pretty generous. And just start mixing that together and make sure that it's well blended. Now, red curry paste is made up of a lot of things like kaffir lime leaves, shrimp paste, coriander seeds, black pepper, some lemongrass and galangal, or I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but also ginger root. So it's a component of a lot of things, and like I said, you can make it yourself, but I find that the store made paste is really delicious and super easy to use. Now I use only 2 tablespoons, but if you want your curry to be a little bit stronger, you could add another 1 or 2 tablespoons depending on your taste. I found that 2 tablespoons was a good level for me. So now this is pretty much well incorporated. The next step is to add the chicken and let the chicken cook in this curry. I'm going to drop the chicken in. And let it soak in all that delicious spice and coconut cream and cook. Because the chicken takes the longest to cook, obviously, you want to put it in first, and also so it can soak up all that flavor. Actually, this looks like butter chicken at this stage, but it'll turn into a delicious curry soon. Okay, and I like to add the kaffir lime leaves, the whole ones, in, just so it can start infusing the flavor. The thin shreds we'll just use as a topping. The chicken will take a few minutes to cook, and just keep stirring it. And to this, you add 2 tablespoons of palm sugar. I have coconut sugar here, but palm is a more authentic version, or and then you add 2 to 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. This is what will give it the salty umami flavor. And this is something you can add to taste as well. You can modify it later on if you need to. Smells so yummy. Okay, and at this point, I like to add the veggies. You can see the chicken is starting to cook, probably 2/3 of the way. You add the peppers. Keep mixing. And then in goes your frozen veggies. And we are halfway there. Okay, and then I like to add the chilies now, so then it can also infuse. And this is the Thai basil. And you notice I didn't do anything with it earlier. And what I'll just do now is I will just take off some of the leaves and just let it wilt into it. We use some of it for garnish. The Thai basil is a little bit different than obviously the Italian basil. It has a really lovely flavor. Okay. Okay, and at this point, you will add the rest of the coconut milk into here. Okay. And super creamy and delicious. And then after this, you just let it simmer down for just a few more minutes for the chicken and the veggies to cook and infuse. And that is Penang curry. Now, Penang curry is a little bit, the way that I like it, it's a little bit saucy, so it's not the thick, chunky curry. It's not super thick. I like it where it's still watery a little bit, because then you can pour it over your rice and it just, so delicious. And I should taste this. Yum. It's spicy, it's flavorful, and creamy. Ooh, there's a kick. I'll add a little bit more sugar. Because I like curry a little bit sweeter. About 1 teaspoon. And that's it. We are done. I'm going to take this off the heat and plate it and then taste it with a bowl of rice, and then you will see how easy it is. So let's get that off the stove and into our bellies. Okay. Yum. Okay. I'll just add a little bit. But I'll do it out there too. I will plate it. Should I do it here? Or?
Yes.
Okay, now that our Penang curry is ready, I will plate it and try it, which is always my favorite. This has so much going on. It has the kaffir lime leaves, it has the Thai basil, a ton of vegetables, garlic and shallots. And it's so creamy with the coconut. Okay. And then we just add some kaffir lime leaves. And sorry. This yeah. Okay. Kaffir lime leaves, and if you want, you can garnish it with a little bit of basil as well. Yeah, let me redo that. You can also garnish it with some basil. Okay. Ta-da! Okay. And this is all because I had a $20 bowl of curry and I wanted to make it for cheaper and at home. And I got to control all the ingredients and take a look. Rice, it's a perfect home-cooked meal for a night at home with friends. Wait, can you take a quick picture of this before? Okay, now we're ready to chow down. I have here a nice bowl of white rice, and white rice is kind of a luxury right now because carbs are not good for me, but anyways, I think it's so good with this curry. You can also do brown rice, of course, which is a healthier alternative, but I would say that the white rice is the more traditional way that most people would eat it, but we are ready. And basically, because it's so saucy, what you would normally do is just add some to your bowl and eat it. Okay. That's really good. and it's spicy. Just the way I like it. Yum. It's so flavorful with the red curry, the coconut milk. One more bite. I do this every time. I shouldn't talk with my mouth full, but that is a perfect pot, a little pot of Penang curry. So I'm really happy that I was able to find this recipe and recreate something that I really love at home, so I can have a taste of Thai Ireland in my own home. And it's something that's super easy. So I love these easy dishes that you can make, and it's not too daunting. So coming up after the break, I'm going to show you how to make cream puffs. And that's something that you see at the stores all the time. But the thing that you don't know is it's so easy to make. I'm going to show you how to do it. So come back after the break. Welcome back to Fantastic Feast. I'm your host, Phan. Before the break, we got to make some Penang curry that was super delicious and very tasty. And in this segment, I am going to show you how to make cream puffs. They are also known as profiteroles, but they are something that look really hard to make, but they're one of the most easy things to make. And what I love about it is you probably have all the ingredients that you need to make it. It's a basic four ingredient recipe, and it takes 4 eggs, a stick of butter, water, and then salt. And you mix that up on the stovetop, and then you add eggs to it. And then after that, you put it in a pastry bag, and then you pipe it out, you bake it, and when it comes out, we'll be making the whipped cream for it in the middle. And then after that, you just put it together, and then you have this beautiful dessert that you can obviously buy it at a bakery, but it's so easy to make at home, and it's so much better fresh. I always really believe in that, and because when you buy at the bakery, you don't really know how long it's been there. Obviously, it's still fresh and delicious, but when you can make it at home, it's just always so much better. So what I have here is 4 eggs for the actual recipe of the choux pastry, 1 extra egg for the egg wash that will go with the milk. I have a bunch of strawberries because they were so beautiful in summertime at the market. So I thought I have to make something that I could put strawberries in. And I thought, okay, let's do cream puffs. They're easy and they look good. So we'll try that. And then you need 2 cups of heavy cream for the whipped cream in the middle. And we'll add some powdered sugar to there to make it a little bit sweeter, and just a little bit of vanilla extract. And then also flour as well. I'm not sure I mentioned flour earlier, but flour goes into this choux pastry as well. And basically, what you would start off with doing is sifting 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and then we'll bring this over to the stove and start making the choux pastry. And you will just not believe how easy it is. So first, wait, do you see this, or I'm gonna sift it. Okay, yes. Okay. Ready? Okay. Ready? Okay, so what we'll do first is sift the flour, and then I will make the egg wash so that it's ready for us when we're ready for the baking of the choux pastry, and then we will go to the stove. But first, this right here is a sifter, and basically 1 cup. Should be a little bit easier. It's messy. Good. Made it a little bit messy, but And this just aerates the flour and just makes it not so clumpy. And we'll do that with the powdered sugar on top at the end as well. Okay. Okay. So there's your sifted flour. Okay. Next we will make the egg wash. And the egg wash is just something that goes on top of the sorry. Okay. Ready? Okay. Okay. Next we'll make the egg wash, and this is something that you brush on top of the chew pastry so it has a nice sheen at the end. And it takes 2 tablespoons of milk. I'll put that here. And then also 1 egg yolk. And I never waste the egg white, so I always freeze it for another opportunity. Okay, and then just mix this together. Okay. Okay, and your egg wash is ready. Put this over here. Set this aside. Okay, so now we'll bring this over to the stove and I'll show you how to make the chew pastry. Super simple. Okay. This stays here. Okay. This way. Okay. Okay. So now we will make the chew pastry, and basically you'll need a heavy bottom saucepan, and then you turn the heat up to medium. And to this pot you will add 1 cup of water, half a teaspoon of salt. Oh wait. To this you will add 1 cup of water, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, then also your stick of butter. Is it okay? Okay. Right now I'm preheating the oven to 400 degrees. Actually, no, I don't need that yet. Okay, I'll just let this melt. So it's a stick of butter, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a cup of water. Okay, so once that has dissolved and melted together, you'll add your 1 cup of flour that you've sifted, and then from there you will vigorously mix it so that's well incorporated and it turns into a smooth ball. So here we go. I'll add this here. Can you see it?
You do the other end.
Okay. Let's start mixing it. Okay. Okay. Flour, water, butter, and salt is mixed together. Okay. That's what we're looking for. Take that off the heat. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Take that off the heat. You put it into a separate bowl. What you do now is you let this cool for at least 5 minutes, but let it get to room temperature, and then you'll add 1 egg at a time to this. Then you'll add 1 egg at a time to this, and that becomes your chew pastry. So that's the consistency you're looking for. How easy is that? Crazy, right? It's very basic chew pastry dough. So we'll let this come to room temperature, and then we'll add the eggs, and then from there we'll pipe it and get going. Okay, now that our chew pastry has cooled down, at least for 5 minutes, or at least, now that our chew pastry has cooled down to at least room temperature, or at least 5 to 10 minutes, we'll add the eggs one at a time, and then that will finish up our pastry dough, and then we'll put it in our piping bag and get it in the oven, and then we'll make the whipped cream for it while we wait. So, first things first. Okay.
I could go with a guy, I can't see it inside.
Oh, okay. Ready? Okay. Okay. So I find that a wooden spoon works really well for this versus the whisk. So first you do 1 egg at a time. And you just mix it. Okay, that's 1 egg. Eggs. I think this is something that would be perfect for like a tea party or a dessert that you can give away as gifts too, because they just look so pretty. You can bring it as a potluck option to a party. I mean, I just love how simple the ingredients are and how fast it comes together. And you don't need any really fancy equipment to get this done. Just a little elbow grease and make sure you're mixing it well. Okay. Okay. Halfway through. One more. I guess it's been my thing recently where I just see things in the store, the bakery, And I just want to see if I can do it myself. It's a little bit of a challenge and also a fun thing to be able to do. You feel a sense of accomplishment when you do it and you're like, hey, maybe I am a real baker. I can do this too. It's the same way I feel about gardening. I mean, it's so much easier to go to buy strawberries in the store, but when you grow it yourself and you pluck it off the stem in your backyard, it's awesome. So, okay, our last egg. This is a workout. Okay. Getting there. Okay. Okay. Sorry. That was a workout. Okay, so there it goes. This is your chew pastry with your eggs incorporated. And what we'll do next is put it into a pastry bag, or what I like to use is the Ziploc bag because it's disposable, no cleanup. And then we'll start piping them and put them in the oven. I already preheated the oven to 400 degrees and I've lined my baking sheet with parchment paper. But right now I'll show you what I do with this. So this is a gallon Ziploc bag. Makes life a lot easier. And then I have a coupler. This you can get at any craft store or online. It's a very basic cake decorating tool, but it works really well. And then you snip it. Okay, and then this attaches on the outside. A fun story, I actually thought I was going to be a cake decorator or baker when I was younger. And I started a whole little organization called Cakes for Kids, and I baked cakes for underprivileged kids who didn't have enough money to have birthday cakes. And I thought, okay, this is the thing that I'm gonna do. And then I told my parents I was gonna be a cake decorator, and they were not very happy. So I decided to become a reporter instead. They weren't that happy about that either, but I mean, here we are combining both the things that they didn't really want me to become, and I have a cooking show, so that works. Funny how life leads you down these different paths, but okay, so here, you add the dough in here. No dough left behind. And that's my oven letting me know it's ready. Preheated. Okay. Just want to get the air bubbles out. You want to seal it or else all your dough is going to come out. Okay. And this is your pastry bag. Okay, so here I have my baking sheet, and I put some parchment paper on to line it. And you can make these as big or as small as you want. I actually like them smaller so they're kind of like bite-sized. Ready? And you just pipe them. You actually don't want these tips, so at the end you can just press them down. But like I said, you can make them bigger if you want or smaller, but I like these size. just want to make sure. I mean, you could have the tips, but I think the more traditional is no tips. Okay. What I want to do is brush them with the egg wash on top. Okay, and then into the oven, this goes for about 30 minutes, so just watch them to make sure that they don't brown too much. So in about 30 minutes, we'll have some cream puff shells ready, and in the meantime, we'll cut the strawberries and make the whipped. Okay, ready? Okay, so now that the cream puffs are in the oven, we have about 30 minutes before they're ready. So in the meantime, we'll cut the strawberries and then we'll also make the cream. And the way to cut it is you just cut off the hole and then just slice it. And these cream puffs, actually, you could just eat them with the cream itself, but I saw these strawberries at the market and they were just too pretty not to buy. And so I think strawberries are always a welcome addition to any dessert. So I figure it won't hurt. Just a few more. Okay, maybe just two more and we should be ready. A little reward. Okay, now we have our strawberries. I'll show you how to make the cream. It's really easy. So come over to our mixer.
We need the other camera for just this one.
Ready? Okay. Okay, so to make this cream, you need 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. start medium. To this I'll add a 1/4 cup of confectioner's sugar. And also a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And you just let it whip up until it's nice and thick and fluffy.
Xong cái này em đổ vô em mang hay đổ đó.
I could do it either way. It's easier. Maybe bring it. I didn't want to do. Well, it's almost done. So just so you can see what it looks like, and then I'll end. Okay. 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 So this is about the consistency that we're looking for. Whipped cream. Yum. So. Okay. Perfect. We'll bring this over and put it in a piping bag. I don't think this is, I'll wait for this. Ready? Okay. Okay. So now we have another piping bag for the whipped cream. You could also do it where you just put it onto the actual cream puff, but I like the control you have in the piping bag. So it's the same method. Your coupler. Where's mine? And you snip it off. can also put a tip on this so that it has designs and so forth, but I'm okay with it as is. Flip it inside out. I don't think there's anything better than strawberries, cream, and fresh baked cream puffs. Yeah. Okay. And that is your piping bag. Make sure to close it. And release the air bubbles. Okay, there you go. And what we'll do is we will refrigerate this until our cream puffs are ready. And then we'll just pipe it out, add our strawberries, dust it with sugar, and then we're ready. Okay, this is the... These are a little bit bigger. Those are a little bit bigger than the ones that I made, but it's okay.
You add extra at the end.
Huh? I did.
You add extra.
So here is our cream puff. Actually, I should put something underneath it.
It's like a muffin.
Yeah, these are the big ones. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, they're not the same size. Okay. Okay, so I lied about them being bite-sized. At the end, I decided to add a little bit of extra pastry dough to each one, so they're nice size now. But these are better for stuffing. But look how perfectly cute they are. They smell amazing. And so okay, you want to let these cool down before you pipe. Make these out of the way. These, you actually want to, oh gosh, how cute are they? Wow, so good. Okay, anyway, so you want to let them cool, cut them in half, and then we'll pipe them. But because they're too hot right now to pipe, I made an earlier batch that's already cooled, but the only difference is they are a little bit smaller, and you'll be able to tell. However, it's the same recipe, but I was not as heavy-handed with my my dough. So these are the same exact thing, a little bit smaller. So what we'll do now is we will cut them in half, and then we'll pipe the cream in, add the strawberries, and then put them on our plate and dust them with powdered sugar, and then you have your beautiful roll. Then you have your beautiful cream puffs ready to go. So let's do that. Our pastry dough. Oh, this is our filling. powdered sugar. Let me see. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's better. Okay, first what we'll want to do. Okay. Let's cut these in half. Okay, and look how nice and flaky they are. It's so exciting, I'm telling you, whenever you make something that you've seen other people do in the stores or bakeries or whatnot, and you're like, hey, I can do it too. It's a great feeling. Almost there. And I'm telling you, this is, and I think this is a perfect dessert for afternoon tea or a little party. Okay. Almost there. Okay. Here we go. So now I've cut the tops off all of them. And now I will pipe full of cream. Okay. Let me pull this off. Okay. 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 Now we have our pastry bags, and we'll start to fill them. We'll fill the bottom. Can you see it in? And this is best, obviously, done right before you're about to serve it, so it doesn't get soggy, but and obviously you could add more cream if you like. I'm not adding too much cream so that it's not overloaded. And then strawberry. Since these are so small, this actually ends up being pepper. Add two. Maybe not. Okay. Okay. You gotta add some more on top, huh? Maybe a squeeze on top.
Strawberry?
Yeah, cream.
I said you.
You, huh?
It's gonna spill.
That looks like good? Okay. Okay. Put the hats back on. Then we will dust powdered sugar on them. Oh, look how cute they are. Okay, we'll dust powdered sugar on them and then we'll plate it. Where's my powdered sugar? Okay.
You know what to look like? Make
Elves?
Make it the sound in the background.
Oh, the gnomes? I think
Yeah.
so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that I had shaped them, they look a little bit like gnomes. See, these are a little flatter, so that's okay. They all taste the same. Okay, so now we'll dust them with powdered sugar, and that's the final touch to it. So basically, it's like magic fairy dust here. Okay. Ah, it's raining sugar. It's the best thing ever. How cute is this? They look like gnomes, or the little garden thingies. But, all right. Okay. And let's plate them. Let's go here. Okay. This side of the way. Okay, and I have this beautiful little cake stand. And we will just oh my gosh, it looks so cute already. These are little joys and victories. And I think part of it is presentation as well. Yeah, you serve this like this, it looks a little bit more fancy, but obviously you can just, man down. No one has to know that my fingers are all over that. Okay. Oh, perfect. One left over for me to eat. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, so here we have our cream puffs with strawberry. It's everything you can think of, or everything that I think of when I think of a beautiful summer dessert. And so let's give this one a try. Okay. Sorry, my hands are all sticky, full of powdered sugar and cream, but it's the markings of sugar war. You didn't do that. Oh, that's so good. Oh my God, this is so messy. That's perfect. That is a good cream puff. Oh, that's just perfect. No. Okay, cut.
I was running away.
Okay, let me just say goodbye.
Looks nice.
Thanks. Maybe have you
We have audience now, but
yeah.
yeah, that looks good.
Maybe can I say goodbye and then take a few
Yeah,
pictures?
say goodbye and I'll take pictures.
Thank you. Is that okay? Should I take this out?
Yeah, right there. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. And there you have it. This is your cream puff with fresh whipped cream and strawberries. It's a wonderful dessert that was really quick and easy to make. And look, it looks like so professional, in my opinion anyways, but this is something you can have on a nice tea party or a nice summer day as a nice dessert for everybody to enjoy. And these will be enjoyed later on today. When they cool down, I'll make some more and have everybody eat some more cream puffs. Obviously, they're not really that good for your waistline, but hey, you gotta live and enjoy a little bit. So thank you so much for joining us here on Phantastic Feast. Sorry, and let me just do it again. Okay, sorry, I'll just do it one more time. Okay. And there you have it. This is our cream puffs with fresh whipped cream and strawberries. It speaks so much of summer and a simple dessert, and I just love the way it looks, and the presentation is something that you could put out and make everybody think that you're a professional baker. You wouldn't think that we made this at home. You probably thought that maybe we went outside and bought this for a lot of money, and look, it's perfect and it's delicious as well. So we want to thank you for joining us here on Phantastic Feast. If you have any questions or comments or any suggestions on what we should make next, go ahead and email me at fantasticfeast@gmail.com. Until next time, thanks for joining us.